Hello, my name is Karen Marinez. I'm an emotional wellness coach. I help you learn how to identify, process, and untangle those emotions that we all deal with on a daily basis. Vimes Life now has a membership for the English-speaking audience. It's really good news. So let me tell you 5 benefits that you gain by joining the membership. The first one is you get videos made monthly exclusively for you, those who are part of the membership. Number 2, once a month you get a live Zoom with me so we can interact. I can teach you, comfort you, and answer your questions. It'll be really nice. Number 3, you get a separate chat exclusively for those within the membership. 4th benefit, you get special stickers. When you interact in the chat on YouTube Live, when we're live on Mondays, your name will have a little special sticker next to it to identify you as one of the members of the membership. And number 5, last but not least, you get special discounts on our courses. So you say, well, how do I sign up? Right below, right by the subscribe button, we hope you subscribe. Right by the subscribe button, there's a circle. It's white inside, black lettering. It says join. Press that. You'll see the first 3 options are for the Spanish audience with Spanish speaking coaches. Mine is the last one, and guess what it's called? Vimes Life Inner Circle. So come on into my inner circle so we can get to know each other better and I can help you and coach you. I'll see you soon. Bye now. Hello, buenas noches. Happy Monday, everybody. Good to have you here. Tonight we're talking about NLP. What is it? How does it help us? Why should you care, right? Just to tell you real quick, NLP is a set of models that create greater self-awareness of a person's inner and outer experience. It allows the person to move from a stuck state to a more resourceful, productive state and achieve their goals. NLP is short for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. But first, let me introduce myself for those who are stopping by for the very first time. My name is Karen Marinez. I'm an emotional wellness coach. I focus on the exhausted woman who overextends herself to please others and struggles to feel comfortable in her own skin. I help you to identify, process, and untangle those emotions that you've been suppressing for years, sometimes decades, so you can find peace, passion, and purpose. All right, it's so good to have you here today. It's a very special class. First of all, because you're here, and second, because we have a big reveal and a surprise at the end, something very unique to finish out the year 2024. You're gonna love it. But let me first say hi to everyone. We have a lot of people online tonight. We got Roxy Ebony, hey there. We got my dear Elvin in the back, Danny, Luce, hello, Deborah, Chica MB, hey Maria, Sally Perez, hello, at me best, Ari, good to see you, Imani, and Yolanda, and my Shawnee Boo, hey Shawnee Boo, good to have you. Yolanda says, good evening, Coach Karen and company, yes. Very, very good to have you all here. I'm pumped and excited. I need to calm myself down. Okay, here we go. So neuro-linguistic programming, right? It sounds fancy and complicated. NLP, what is that? But it's not difficult. It's not complicated. Let me break it down for you. Neuro is for neurology, right? It's the physical components as well as the mental and emotional components of our neurology, of our mind. Keisha Duhar, my big sister, hello, good to have you. And then L is for language or linguistic. And that pertains to the language that you use and more specifically, how you communicate with others and also how you communicate with yourself. We've talked several times on this channel about our inner dialogue, our inner monologue, the way we talk to ourselves. That's basically what it is. What is it negative? Is it positive? So it's the neurology, which is the brain, the language we use to communicate with ourselves and with others, and then programming or function, which is how the mind perceives things. It's like an inner operating system of a computer, and programming is the way to get out of our past experiences, thoughts, and emotions. All of those things affect our lives, a lot of times in a very negative way, which is why, or sometimes positive, right? But 10 people could look at the same picture or have the same experience, and every person has a different point of view. Why? Because of the way we have been programmed. So we perceive the world in a specific way, in a particular way, based on our own experiences and our own programming. And usually it's from grandparents' experience passed on to the parents, passed on to us, and we see things in a certain way. We perceive it differently. Okay, in other words, learning in NLP is like learning the language of your own mind. It's understanding and managing your own mind. How often do we tell ourselves, I don't know why I did this. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Renee, good to have you. I don't know what's going on with me. But it's because we need to understand our own mind. So let's use an example. Have you ever tried to communicate with someone who doesn't speak your language? You couldn't understand them and they could not understand you, right? And it's like going to a restaurant in a foreign country and you think you're ordering steak, and the food shows up and it's liver stew, right? You thought you said the right thing, but it may have been a tone. If it's an Asian, it could be the accent was put on the wrong. It could be the word you thought was steak really is liver stew, right? You didn't get the results that you wanted. Or just over the summer, me and Elvin were in El Salvador. We both speak Spanish, but Caribbean. Elvin's from Dominican Republic. I know straw is sorbete for Dominicans and maybe Caribbean, like Puerto Ricans. And I asked the woman for sorbete, and she pointed, and we're looking. She's like, "It's right there." And it was ice cream. It's ice cream in El Salvador, so it's the same Spanish language, but different terminology based on the country. Isn't that interesting? And we laughed, of course. It's like she was like, "Oh, okay." I would be like, and she's like, "Oh," and I forget what the word is, but language. So that's the kind of relationship most of us have with our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind. We may think we want to make more money. We want to get our finances right. I want to have a happy, healthy relationship with my spouse. I want to have peace with my siblings, right? I want to be able to stick to a healthy diet. But then we look and we're like, but why am I not? 6 months has passed, a year, nothing has changed. I did my budget. I changed my diet, but we didn't stick to it, right? We let ourselves just fly off the handle when talking to our spouse. We were trying to be more loving and caring, and it didn't come out that way. But why? It's like something got lost in translation, right? And it's our inner dialogue. So, how is my inner dialogue? How is yours? Positive or negative? Does it upbuild or break you down? What would you say? Put it in the chat. Let's be honest. What's your inner dialogue like? Because it's so important. And NLP helps with our belief system. We're going to talk about that later. Our relationship with ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves, and the way we speak to others and communicate. It makes a difference in your life because it also gives you a better understanding of other people. And you'll learn interpersonal skills to help you communicate better. For the most part, most people don't know how they work on the inside. We don't understand ourselves. And we're really unable to tell someone else what makes somebody say, what made you do that? What made you say that? That got you fired, or that made him so upset. What made you say that? I don't know. It just came out. Right? Yolanda, was it pajita for straw? I don't remember. Is that what they use in Panama for straw? I don't even remember. I should have, if I had written it down, I would have remembered. Fabi Booth says her inner dialogue is trash. That's why you're here. I'm glad you're here. Make yourself comfortable because we're going to be talking about this. And we have a Glenda Smith from Panama City. Glenda Smith, I heard you were going to be passing through. Welcome. It's good to have you. Very nice to have you. Deborah says hers is up and down. Yeah. So it's something to be aware of. We probably say things to ourselves that we wouldn't even say to our loved one. I was going to say our worst enemy, but sometimes not even to them, right? So when we learn NLP, We learn how we're working on the inside. We learn the inner workings of ourselves by observing our behaviors and the behaviors of others. We get to learn more about the other person too, because now we know what to look for when we're trying to get to know people. Miss Lizzo 78, intrusive thoughts. Yeah, yeah, that's a big one. And it's like they come, like you said, intrusive. They weren't invited. What do I do with this, right? NLP can help. So when we learn the process of neuro-linguistic programming, again, it sounds fancy, but all it means is learning the inner workings of the mind. We become better people. We become a little more approachable. We become more understanding of others, and people can understand us better because we're better able to communicate what we want, how we want it, and in a way that other people can handle it. Our performance at work will improve. We become a better team player because if we're better at communicate, first of all, if I know myself better, I can I know what I need to do in order to interact with this group. If I can read the other person better, communicate with the other person better, I become a better team player. That's the office vibe. That's what's required. Even if you work remote, when y'all get on Teams and Zoom and all that stuff, there's interactions. We become a better team player when we know ourselves better and we learn the techniques of NLP. Marion, good to have you. Thanks for being here. In my personal case, NLP learning more allowed me to improve my relationship with my siblings. We are caring for my mom, our mom, 84 years old, dementia. We've been caring for her for a very long time now, over 10 years. And anyone who is a caregiver understands the struggles because everybody looks, we all have a different perception of what's needed, how to do it, how to carry it out, what's the best process. And you talk about the need for teamwork is when you're trying to care for an aging parent, and especially one that can't speak up for themselves because they have dementia, they can't make their own decisions. And one sibling is a power of attorney and the others have their point of view and their perspective. You talk about needing to be a team player and having good communication skills. It is put to the test when you're a caregiver for a loved one, right? Mothers, you know that with children. You have a way of raising a child and your husband has a different way, and y'all have to become a team, a united front to raise those kids in a proper way, right? So that's how NLP helped me personally with the caregiving aspect and communicating and getting along better, understanding my siblings better. So let's think about it. If there's one thing you could change, one habit you could break, what would it be? Can you put it in the chat? Would it be to remain calm when you're doing work presentations? You have a big presentation and it's right? Or talk to your loved ones in a kinder way. A lot of us, that's our goal. We're cohabiting with spouse, children, sometimes grown children, sometimes grandparents, sometimes it's 3 generations in a home. We have step families, right? A lot of us are pushed into big social settings very often, and we want to get along better with others. What if we want to quit procrastinating? We want to spend less time on social media. We want to spend less time scrolling, right? We want to be able to get a thing of ice cream and not devour the whole tub, the whole half gallon or pint of Haagen-Dazs, right? All the things. Type in the chat, what are some goals if there was one thing you could work at, what would you like to change in your personal life? So we want to discover the truth, the key to happiness. And the truth is, and this is, most of us were never taught how to actually achieve our own happiness. We were taught to make mommy and daddy happy. If we're religious, we were taught to make God happy, make the teacher be a good girl at school, right? The neighbors, make sure better time management. Gio says, nice. That's a really good goal. The neighbors, don't embarrass me. We wouldn't go to so-and-so's house, right? Behave yourself, right? Ooh, Deborah says, be more kind to herself. That's beautiful. And Renee says, stop procrastinating. Renee has amazing goals. We got to get on them so you can You got stuff to do, girlfriend. So yeah, the procrastinating so you can get out of your way and get it done, right? And you're gonna affect so many different people's lives. Miss Lizzo says chronic procrastinator. You see, it's you're not alone. And Lou says wake up every day. Oh, with a positive, energetic attitude. I love it. Love it. Beautiful. And what that could do, if you really feel that, how that will help you move through your day and your whole household, the woman of the house sets the pace, sets the mood. And when the woman of the house wakes up most mornings, right, with a positive, energetic attitude, what a difference it makes. Ask Elvin. Elvin, if you're paying attention and you want to put something in the chat, let them know how you feel waking up next to a positive, energetic woman every day. He's like, oh. Sally says, get away from technology to yeah, the adult pacifier. You see, he's like, can you tone that down, please? And I'm like, nah. Sally, yes, that scrolling, right? On the phone. Ari also says, stop spending hours scrolling. Michelle, Maria says, stop worrying about what can happen. Wow, that's big. Yeah. And that's where anxiety comes from. We need to stay in the present. For those that are here for the first time, you may not have heard this before, but when we have an excess of the past, that's where depression comes from. And we're stuck back there. And when we have an excess worry of the future, that's anxiety. We wake up, whoosh, all these worrying thoughts come to our mind, flush us, overwhelm us. And then we try to catch our breath and get through the day hurriedly so we could get back home and into our little cave, right? But if we can work on staying in the present, because it is a present, right? It's a gift. But literally staying in the present will help us. Don't go too far ahead. Don't go back. Stay right here in the present. It really helps, but it's a practice and it takes work and practice over and over and over until it becomes a little more second nature. All right. So we were really taught not to seek our own happiness, but to make others happy. And NLP empowers us with the knowledge and tools for us to step into our own lives, the best version of ourselves, and achieve the happiness that we deserve. Some of us don't even know what that looks like. We don't know what that happiness is. I don't know what makes me happy. A lot of my clients said, I don't know what lights my soul on fire. I don't know what I like. I have some hobbies, but and NLP empowers us. We learn more about ourselves, and then we can become the best version of ourselves and be really happy for ourselves, not for other people. Okay. So NLP is like a user's manual for the brain. All right. And we could walk through this life kind of lost in a box. We don't dare step. That box provides us comfort. We're in our comfort zone. We don't dare step out of it. Right. But yet while we feel comfortable inside because it's where we like to be, in our quiet moments we feel restless and unfulfilled. It's like, this isn't the life that I want. What am I doing? Why did I just spend 3 hours scrolling? I have so much life to live, but we don't even know what to do with the life that we have, right? Or we have categories, right? And we do a lot over here, but this side is just lacking a lot. So taking an NLP course is like learning how to become fluent in the language of your mind so that your unconscious, subconscious mind can finally understand what you really want in life, not just going through the motions. That's no fun. One therapist recently I was watching described it as feeling dead in your own skin. Isn't that something? That's profound. I had to write, I'm like, dead in your own skin. You're just going through the motions. There's no real joy. There's no deep happiness. You have moments, but there's not a continual flow of positivity, of love, of self-love, of self-fulfillment, feeling good about yourself and all that good stuff. And we need to work that out. Danielle says the box is safe. Yeah, and ooh, I'm staying right here. But we know, we've learned that when we step out of that comfort zone, there's more happiness, right? So NLP is the study of excellent communication with yourself and with others. And it's a set of tools and techniques to help us to get better, to reach our goal, crush our goals, find out our goals, then crush them, and then make better use of our time, learn about ourselves, what's going on in that subconscious, who are we, and why are we that way, and then also better communication with ourselves and with others. Okay, so here's a question. Limiting beliefs. What's a limiting belief? Something you say to yourself that puts a stop on you. It could be, here's a limiting belief. I'm terrible with money. I'll always be in debt. Uh, I have a horrible marriage. Me and my husband just don't get along. We never will. I don't have friends because I'm an introvert. I prefer to be by myself. Look, girl, I've been at this weight so long. I've been overweight. I might as well give up. This is it. Right? My coworkers, I don't get along with them. It's a bad vibe in the office. It's terrible. I can't stand my job. My boss hates me. Those are limiting beliefs because we don't allow ourselves, we don't give ourselves the opportunity to grow. We right away we say, stop, no, can't do that. Right? It holds us back from making progress. We get in our own way. Okay, so our beliefs can change by these different NLP techniques, and I'm going to read them to you. Tell them what they do, and then we're going to talk about two in particular. Okay, one technique is reframing. So you know how you have a frame, a picture in a frame. It's turning negative experiences into positive thoughts to shift your reality. It's like, I don't want the white frame anymore. Let's put a black frame and let's put a bigger frame. Okay, changes the perspective. It looks different on the wall, right? Shift our reality. That's reframing. That's one technique. Another one is anchoring, and it's associating a feeling with a phrase, action, or sensation to reproduce that feeling of hopefully joy, happiness, success, right? Rapport is another technique, establishing a trusting connection with someone by adapting your language, tone of voice, posture, and breathing rhythm. So you're approaching someone, maybe that boss that's terrible in your mind, or the coworker that's so difficult. But by you adapting your language, tone of voice, posture, and breathing rhythm to them, you create a trusting connection, and to the point that people say, I saw it. You get along with him? Yeah, we and him, we don't have a problem because you learned how to change and make a connection with that person, even though they're difficult and et cetera, et cetera. And mirroring is another technique where you match the body language of someone that you're talking to build rapport, because every relationship is built on rapport, trust, rapport, RAPPORT, not poor trust, rapport, comma, and also trust. And we can change our body language and match it to the person we're talking to, and that builds a sense of rapport. People feel more comfortable with us. That can help us in many areas of our life, right? Job, home. A lot of us take part in our ministry, right? All those things can get better if we learn mirroring. And these are techniques that we learn in NLP. So let's talk about two of the techniques, reframing and anchoring. Okay? Reframing in order to change our belief system, because belief system goes along with that inner dialogue. Who was it? Miss Lizzo said, no, chronic procrastinator, but someone, yeah, Miss Lizzo said intrusive thoughts, and others said that, not being positive and having a negative viewpoint, right? The inner dialogue. And also our belief system can be very negative. I'll never amount to anything. I can never do that job. I'm not good at math. Um, I'm not a people person. People don't like me. Those are limiting beliefs. So let's talk about reframing to change our belief system. Again, it's turning negative experiences into positive thoughts to shift our reality. Because we think our reality is, right now, our reality is negative. I'm not a people person. Um, I'll never be able to get out of debt. I'm terrible with money. But if we can shift so that our reality will be, I got out of debt. I stuck to my budget. Wouldn't that be amazing? So the one way is purpose, right? Reframing is a technique. It involves changing the meaning of a statement or context of a situation. So one is purpose. Reframing helps people see things from a different perspective, which leads to more choices and resourcefulness in how they react. Like on this chat we've talked about, and it happened before our eyes. Someone said, I want to get better, more financially stable. And two people said, I'll be your financial accountability partners, right? Looking at it from a different perspective, another person could say, oh, you have this amount of debt, but that's not terrible. Look at your income, girl. You could wipe, if you focus, you could wipe that out in 7 to 8 months, right? Like, really? Meanwhile, when we look at that figure, we're just, I can't, I'm overwhelmed, right? But when we reframe it with a different frame, we look at it from a different perspective. I have this amount of debt, but this person has 3 times that debt. And they don't even make, I have a pretty big shovel. My income, if I focus, I can attack it, get it done, and be done and move on with my other goals, right? Because debt holds me back. I can't move, I can't travel, I can't do the things I want to do. I need to get out of debt. Well, what do we need to do? Shift our perspective. Okay, so it's based on the idea, this reframing, that an event is subjective and flexible, such as I'm in debt. It can be changed by changing the focus, language, context, or interpretation. Again, the interpretation is, okay, yeah, I have this debt, but look at the money look at my income. Or, oh, I have this debt, and yeah, look at my income. I need to either get a better job or get an extra job, do something so that I can increase the amount that I can pay on this debt just for a small period of time so I can get this debt down. And then I can live my life. If this debt is suffocating me, it's holding me back. Just an example. Another example, you fail an exam. You could say, oh, I failed the exam. And the rest of the day is just done. Or you could say, I failed. I didn't pass. But you know what? I'm gonna use this as a learning experience. It's a challenge. It's a motivation to improve. I got a 56 on that exam, and it took a 65 to pass. You know what? But I really didn't study as much as I should have. I'm gonna get back in this, study it, take the test over, right? Not doom and gloom, but okay, this happened. Let me reframe it. Let's make it like this. Here's some other examples. Here's the original statement. We're having a conversation and someone says, you misinterpret everything. Maybe it's your child, maybe it's your spouse, right? And you can reframe it and say, we must be misunderstanding each other. Can you help me understand what you meant? You step back, and the person said you misinterpret everything. You could have gotten offended and they could have gone, woo, all the way left, right? She said, we must not be understanding each other. Can you help me understand what you meant? And now, first of all, that brings a person down, and then it allows them to now say it again, maybe in a clearer way, more simple. Somebody says, I'm fed up with your negative response to everything that's proposed. Maybe that's in a business meeting, right? Which with the team. You see, I agree. Let's focus on finding a solution and move away from negativity. Isn't that nice? You see the reframing. And it also calms down. The flame is high, and by our response, right, we calm the situation down. Somebody may say this, can we just keep talking about this one detail? And you say, okay, if you're okay with it, can we make sure we have the big picture figured out first before focusing on the details? Maybe the details will become more clear then. So let's look at the big picture, but it's in such a kind way, right? That people, oh, okay, right? And the last example is, that seems petty. Can you believe that keeps happening? Again, on the job, at the house, somebody doesn't want to wash the dishes, they leave their shoes, whatever the thing.
a friend that always gets to you late and it's bothering you, and you say something and she's like, that seems petty. Can you believe that keeps happening? Like, what's the big, they're complaining about somebody else, and you say, that sounds irritating. What do you need to move past this moment and look for a solution? So that's more like your friend comes and she's complaining about, so and so is always late. Can you believe it keeps happening? Yeah, I can understand. That does sound irritating. What do you need to move past this and look for a solution? Right? So that's reframing. Maggie is here. She said that requires you to stop and think before you respond. It does. And then how we respond as well. And it calms the situation down. You see how it improves our relationships, our communication with others. Some of you have roommates, some of you live with spouses and children, some of you some have parents with them. It's a whole thing. We can make it better by the way we handle the situation. Thank you for that point, Maggie. Okay, so that's reframing. That's one technique of NLP. Now let's talk about another one, anchoring. There are many, but these are two that we're going to focus on. Anchoring. What is anchoring? It's associating a feeling with a phrase, action, or sensation to reproduce that feeling. So it's a technique in NLP that uses associates external stimulus with an internal emotional response. And the goal is to create a stimulus response pattern that allows you to feel a certain way when you need to. So here's an example. Auditory anchors sounds like words, phrases, music, tones, or noises that evoke a certain emotion in you. Have you ever heard a song from your childhood and you'd be like, right? I hear a certain song, I can hear it in my head now. It takes me back to 11th grade in high school. It was a girl, her name was Kim. She was walking down the hallway and she was singing the song. And I'm like, what is, she's like, girl, it just came out. And then when I got home, we had radio back then. I heard it on radio and I was like, oh, and every time I hear it, and it makes me so happy. High school was a good time in my life, right? So it could be a song, it could be a motivational quote that makes you feel confident. It could be a certain smell, right? We'll talk about that a little later, but it could be a certain smell that may take you back in time, a time in your life when you felt safe, like the aftershave of your loving father could evoke a pleasant memory. That's an anchor. Um, and it evokes a certain emotion. So if we're feeling down, for instance, we might put on a particular song that puts us back at that time when everything was okay in our world, right? Some songs can make us feel sad. If it is a song, it depends. Sometimes if I hear a Sam Cooke song, my dad loves Sam Cooke, it can evoke sadness in me. I'll feel myself with a tear. So if we are feeling a certain way and we want to feel better, we want to feel happy, we want to feel safe, we can put on certain sounds that will help us. Some people love the sounds of nature, rain, the waves of the beach. That's why on your cell phone, on YouTube, you can download or get the right in there type beach waves, and you can listen to the waves. It relaxes you. It makes you feel a certain type of way, because we cannot control the outer world, unfortunately, and we can't control other people, but we can control ourselves, and we can put ourselves in certain situations that make us feel happy. We can put on music, hear certain sounds, certain tones that will make us smile and bounce around a little more, be more happy, right? It could also be a picture. A picture can remember can become an anchor for a particular feeling, excuse me. A picture you remember in your head can become an anchor for a particular feeling, such as a graduation picture from high school or college graduation. And maybe you're like this or like this, or you throwing your hat up. If you can picture that in your mind, you can feel the sense of accomplishment, right? Joy, elation. I did it. I did it. So when you're at a moment where you're like, I can't do this, there's no use. You can visualize that picture, close your eyes, block everything out, and remember, picture the picture in your mind, and then remember how you felt. It'll give you a boost. It'll give you a certain feeling of satisfaction of, I can do this. What am I talking about? If I finish that, I can do this, right? This is all called anchoring because it's a memory or a vision, an image in our mind, and it anchors us down, gets us, instead of being wobbly, anxious, feeling out of control, helpless, lost, it anchors us so we can feel in control. We can get back to that place where we want to feel in control, happy, successful. You get it? Does anybody have a question? Does it make sense? Another thing is touch. How often does a touch of a loved one help us? Imagine you have social anxiety. You're with your spouse at a conference. He knows how you feel with all these people around, and you have a presentation, and your husband just goes and he taps your knee, or he just puts his hand on your knee, or a friend grabs your hand, your arm. Just, that can ease the angst because touch is so powerful. A mother's hug, if you got them, if you had that mom that gave you hugs, you felt safe and loved when you were a child. If you didn't get it, you know what it feels like not to have that, right? But for someone to give you a hug that you feel safe with makes you feel safe. It can calm you, like a child that's crying, a baby and the mother and rocks them. So touch can also help. And with us dealing with others, we can touch someone on the shoulder that makes that contact as we say hello to them, a firm handshake, right? A hug. We may notice that someone is about to spiral. We can come to their aid by anchoring them with touch. And then, of course, as we learn, we can do ourselves. We can rock and hug on ourselves to give ourselves a private moment. We're not going to do this in public, but if you're in a public place, you go in the bathroom or a lounge and give yourself a hug and tell yourself it's going to be okay. A lot of people suffer from anxiety. And all it is, it's not all it is. I'm not minimizing it, I should say. But what anxiety is an internal alarm, the body saying danger, danger, danger because of something that we've experienced in our lives. So when you can anchor yourself with a hug, you can perhaps calm yourself down. And then, of course, deep belly breathing. Okay. And then tone of voice. A tone of voice can become an anchor for a state of excitement or confidence, right? You hear someone say, it's going to be okay. And it's a person that you love and trust. Wow, that makes a difference. And then me, when I'm speaking to someone else and I see them, then my voice tone can help them to feel good. You got this, girl, right? Confidence, excitement, you're going to do great, right? We can learn how to use our voice tone for ourselves as we talk to ourselves and improve our inner dialogue, and also for others, especially children. Children need our love and support and guidance and reassurance. If children are in your life, let's work at giving them that so that the next generation can have better happiness and better skills, less anxiety, less panic. Okay, so are you all ready for the big news? You can only guess what it is, right? We are launching a new course. Can you guess what it's called? NLP, you got it. Neuro-Linguistic Programming. We're looking forward to starting it around December 20th. Alejandro, ¿puedes poner la información en la pantalla? en la pantalla, por favor. I'm excited. I'm excited. Alejandro's going to put it up on the screen. What is going on with NLP? Okay. What is the format? It's very similar to the last courses that we had UCO. It's a challenge each day for 30 days. There we go. NLP, the sale price is $127 for the next 72 hours. There we go. Okay, it's on the screen. It's a limited offer. Let me tell you more about it. You get a challenge for each day for every 30 days, for 30 days, I'm sorry. I'll be with you each day to give you feedback. I'll be coaching you. I'll accompany you through the goals. You'll set a goal and we'll continue to work at it. Like it could be, I have limiting beliefs. I suffer from anxiety. I want to have better finances. I want to stop procrastinating. I want to stop scrolling, right? And you will learn your own belief systems, okay? And we'll go through all of those different techniques. It goes on for 4 weeks. So each week there'll be a live class on Zoom where we'll do different exercises together. I'll teach you more. You will continue to learn. And of course, the first part of the class is recorded, because what if I put it at a time and date that you're not available? You just can't make it. We'll record it. We'll send the link in the chat. You'll be able to see it, right? The chat for the class. But then always there's an after party. We turn off the recording, and that's when the conversation really gets good, right? It's like group therapy. We all talk. I coach you. You have questions you can ask, all the things, because it's just us. And what happens then, it stays there because it's not being recorded. Some people shy away from doing group therapy, but let me tell you why it's such a benefit to learn in groups. You learn from others in the group as well. You see their different perspective, their point of view. We all come from different walks of life. We all have our own history, our own story, right? And so a question that this person may ask, you say, oh, that was a good question. I didn't even think about that. That's a good one, right? And so it's good, good, good. We learn from each other. You grow. It's a community. We get close. It becomes like family. By the end of the 4 weeks, it's like, bye, everybody. See you in the next class, right? Those who did UCO the last couple of times, it was just really, really good. And UCO was about learning how to organize our homes, each part: kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, da 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 da, closets. But everyone learned that it was so much deeper than that. People said, I thought I was going to just learn about decluttering. Oh, no, this is about emotional wellness. So we learn more about ourselves and we just get better. Okay, so that's that. $127 in the next 72 hours. Alejandro, ¿puedes poner el otro post? Because if you buy the course within 72 hours, here's the surprise. Let's see when he puts it up. You're going to get a free ebook. Oh, Star says that decluttering was UCO, which is in English is really OCU, Organized Cranial Universe. We did that in May, and we did it again, I think, in September. The classes were amazing. Yes, Star. Okay, here's the extra bonus. If you buy the course within the next 72 hours, you will get this free ebook. I can't talk tonight. I'm too excited. It's called Opening Roads, really opening your emotional roads, written by the CEO of Vimes, Marinez. It's 189 pages. It will help you to continue growing in your emotional journey. The courses they come around periodically. So we finished UCO, we did 2 UCO, and now we're doing this one in LP. We will get back to UCO. Well, we're going to do this one first. All right, we welcome you to do all of them as they come out because they're all phenomenal. And this is the first time this one is being offered in English, because all of these courses have been offered in Spanish, but now they're being offered in English. So if you sign up within the next 72 hours, you can get this free ebook that will help you to continue growing and growing in your emotional journey. I can't talk. Okay, the link, Alejandro, ¿puede poner el enlace para ellos averiguar. The link will be in the chat. He's gonna put it. This is your extra bonus. Also in the WhatsApp chat. If you're not a part of our WhatsApp group, we're going to put the link for that as well. Please join the chat. If you have other questions about the course, we'll be putting it in there. We're also going to put it up on Instagram, but I'm waiting for Alejandro. Okay, so that first link is to get more information about NLP, the course. Okay, and again, if you sign up in the next 72 hours, 127 is the sale price. Y Alejandro, okay, and then, okay, he put it in the chat. And now, si puedes poner el otro chat de WhatsApp, he's going to put the WhatsApp chat as well. Please join that. If you want more information for the course, please sign up, tap that link. For those watching this after the live finishes, the links will be in the show notes, or you can join the chat. If you're on the chat, you'll see it inside there. I'll put everything in there tonight as well. I think that's it. We finished kind of early too, but the class is phenomenal. It's life changing. It's always where it's like, oh, I'm joining it for this, and then but I got all of this out of it. It helps you in every aspect, every walk of life. Okay, if anyone has a question, you can ask in the chat here live, or we can continue the conversation on WhatsApp. Okay, everyone is welcome. It's going to be a phenomenal time. December 20th was chosen because we wanted to get it started before the year begin. Before, can you believe 2024 is almost over? But I also realized that helps a lot of you who work for the school system. You're going to have off like 10 days during Christmas break and all that, and into the new year. It gives you time to be more relaxed, enjoy the class, do the little challenges. The challenges are not earth shattering, overwhelming. No, it's simple things to help you to change your belief system, reframe, anchor, all the things. We're going to go into more depth. Okay, when is it starting? Probably December 20th. Okay, we look forward to having you all there. Some people say, but what if I can't keep up with every day? It's okay, you go at your own rhythm. It's very low stress. There's no pressure. But everything we do towards getting to know ourselves better and bettering our emotional journey is for our good. It helps so much. What time is the class held once a week? Probably Mondays at 8, because this time is good for most people. Last time, that's what we did. We did Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the same time we would do the YouTube, we'll probably do it then. And that way, most people will be available because you're all here anyway, Mondays at 8 most of the time. Okay. So if you have any other questions, you can feel free to write it in the chat. If you're not a part of the chat, please join it. And then also that link, I'll put it inside the chat it'll lead you to the lead magnet, and you'll get more information, much more detail about the class. So actually, this is another surprise. You just had your first free class of NLP. What is the start and end date of the course? It would be December 20th. And of course, not of course, but I did not look for the end date, but it will be 4 weeks after that. December 20th is a Friday. And then it will be 4 weeks after that. It's a total of 30 days. All right. Star, are you in the WhatsApp group that we have? It's good to have you here. And she said, okay, yeah. So not yet. Okay. You see the link though? Because we're going to continue this conversation on WhatsApp, and you're more than welcome. Please join us there and you'll get more information. But if you can see the link, okay, good. And you got the link and this is for everyone else too, the link to the class. All right, to sign up. When you go into the link, you're just going to get more. It's a whole lot of information about the class, but you just took your first one. We gave it to you for free. And next week, we're going to have another one, continuing the conversation. Okay, we're going to talk about two more techniques that you're going to learn about. All right. You know I love you guys. Big hugs. It's so good to have you all here. Keep coming back for more. We'll see you next Monday. All right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Star. And I'll see you in the chat. Bye.
Hello. My name is Marinez. I'm an emotional wellness coach. I help you learn how to identify, process, and untangle those emotions that we all deal with on a daily basis. Vimes Life now has a membership for the English-speaking audience. It's really good news. So let me tell you 5 benefits that you gain by joining the membership. The first one is you get videos made monthly exclusively for you, those who are part of the membership. Number 2, once a month you get a live Zoom with me so we can interact. I can teach you, comfort you, and answer your questions. It'll be really nice. Number 3, you get a separate chat exclusively for those within the membership. 4th benefit, you get special stickers. When you interact in the chat on YouTube Live, when we're live on Mondays, your name will have a little special sticker next to it to identify you as one of the members of the membership. And number 5, last but not least, you get special discounts on our courses. So you say, well, how do I sign up? Right below, right by the subscribe button, we hope you subscribe. Right by the subscribe button, there's a circle. It's white inside, black lettering, it says join. Press that. You'll see the first 3 options are for the Spanish audience with Spanish speaking coaches. Mine is the last one, and guess what it's called? Vimes Life Inner Circle. So come on into my inner circle so we can get to know each other better and I can help you and coach you. I'll see you soon. Bye now.